saying? Yeah, so we're going to break down some energies real fast and things of that nature. You know, sun and Taurus, moon and Aries energy. You know what I'm saying? To get y'all hip to see what's going on right now so you can get prepared for this solar eclipse in Taurus. Get ready to happen on the 19th. You know, Mercury is direct. So, you know, with Mercury being direct, also, I'm going to speak game for a little bit. I ain't really feel like putting on a song, you know, do all that stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Real tough. But you will get a clear understanding if you come in a little late. You can just rewind it. Somebody go in right now. Ain't no waiting the 12 minutes, no nothing. We're going in right now, no matter how many seconds. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Now, first and foremost, we dealing with a Mercury direct right now in Taurus. So, you know, thank God for anybody out there who survived the Mercury direct energy. I mean, the Mercury retrograde energy, which this Mercury retrograde wasn't even like that. You know what I'm saying? This Mercury retrograde energy was more about self-reflecting and shadow work, not necessarily dealing with the past physically and stuff like that. So keep that in mind also. So it ain't even like saying anything to say people survived during the Mercury retrograde. I mean, the Mercury retrograde wasn't about nothing this time. It's basically a self-reevaluation time, and people was doing the most self-reflecting that they ever did, but it wasn't necessarily you dealing with the actual energies themselves. Like, you was more in a situation of just like observing if you made the right decision or not, and observing the current position that you in to come to those conclusions. So you might, if you're not in a position that you necessarily want to be in, you might decipher the Mercury retrograde as that time of self-reflecting all the mistakes that you have made. And if you is in a position that you low-key want to be in, or at least see the potential of it, you're starting to see that you made the right decisions via people, places, and things that you may have cut off and stuff like that. Or people that you have, or people, places, and things that you may have obtained yourself with. That's more in your favor. That's more in the energy of, you know what I'm saying, what you try to do, you know? So that's basically this little small test. Like, Mercury retrograde this time was more like first period. You know, a lot of times you don't even care about first period. The main time frames at school be like probably 4th, 5th, or 6th period if you got lunch at one of those periods. You know what I'm saying? Then probably 6th period or the 3rd period or something like that when you have a something like art or gym. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. A home economics, home cooking class or something simple like that. Then you might have the other classes that's hard, 7th period. You know what I'm saying? So you more in the Mercury retrograde played more like an energy of first period. You just getting prepared for the day, aka you getting prepared for the day you get ready to express inside outwardly your new self. So now if you don't even like your new self and the bed that you made, then you still got to keep up them pillow sheets and curtains and stuff like that. You just can't let it collect dust and stuff like that, or you just sleep in and out and it start to get funky. You got to maintain these things too and make something look good, even if you know you frustrated and you know you was wrong at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the donation, Andrew. So that's a little bit of energy that they're gonna put you in. You know, when it comes into the esoteric energies of Mercury, how we break it down from an esoteric perspective, I had to utilize it to see these things for yourself. Now, the main theme we get ready to experience right now, though, is being embarrassed or not. Do you feel embarrassed about the position that you're in right now or not? That's going to be the main theme. Because for the most part, we have Chiron in Aries, trining Lilith in Leo. So Lilith represents the emotion behind the emotion. So, when that get cast stones at, or someone trying to decipher us and they reach that area, we feel naked, because that's one of the first feelings we utilize to protect our spirit. So it holds a lot of insecurities also that it shouldn't. But when an individual know astrology is one of the tools we can use, Lilith will be one of the attributes you can access in order to know what kind of ways you develop embarrassments, and why your way of feeling embarrassed may be different than someone else's. Thank you so much for the donation. South Hour, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So right now, the moon is getting ready to trine it, if not already, Lilith, and it's conjuncting Chiron. So we're going to be extra self-aware, the moon, how we react and respond, and how we manifest via people, places, and things within our life, how we genuinely feel, and the heart space area when it comes into the chakra and the physical organ that it made, heart chakra and heart organ, right? All of this is correlated to your moon sign. So if you got a sun, moon, or ascendant, specifically moon, and Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer, the way you may express these energies may be a little debilitated at this time. So just peep game on how to go about it based on this little breakdown right now. Now, for the most part, the moon is in Aries, right? So we also going to feel the same energy as the Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer, but we're not going to have no example or be able to see an example outside of us. We have to be ourselves, and based upon whatever outcome we experience, that's going to teach us, and we was utilizing the energy in the higher octave or the lower octave perspective of it. So, because that's what, don't be trying to be God, don't be trying to be nothing, because it's hard to try to be, you can't just be nothing or whatever like that. God only wants you to be you. That's the best way you could please God, is just being yourself, because that's what God do. So for the most part, that's your best way of pleasing God. Therefore, you ain't trying to be too much of nothing, and you ain't trying to be too much of something. And anytime you're around other people, places, and things that's trying to be too much of something, that's when you act out on the polar shift of trying to be nothing. And anytime you start to act out too much percentage scales of nothing, you're going to manifest a form of nothing that look like something. And therefore, it's time for you to become something in that area, because you've been taking it easy too much, separating too much, dislocating yourself from responsibilities too much, thinking too much of something ain't nothing at all, thinking too much of something ain't just nothing. And these things be needing to be taken care of, because you didn't add an energy and percentage level to that shit. So you just got to understand equilibrium, and your only way of going about it is really ain't no example. It's just really you being yourself, and that's the only way you really can please God. You know what I'm saying? That's what the angels had to learn. Now, so when it comes into feeling embarrassed, this is going to be one of the main themes, due to the fact of the trine and the conjunction between the moon, Lilith in Leo, and Chiron in Aries. Now, Jupiter got some slight action due to the fact of it being at 29 degrees Jupiter. 29 degrees Aries. But it ain't got a lot of action. It's kind of like distracted right now due to the fact of getting ready to go into Taurus. So we're experiencing lava energy right now when it comes into Jupiter. Jupiter represents our experiences, meanings, reasonings, wisdom, and knowledge, and how we become aware, which all those things together create expansion, because when you go through experiences, you develop more awarenesses. So whether that experience was negative or positive, you can look at it as positive if you was able to learn something. So you're able to expand. Now, it being in lava means the way we learn right now and experience things going to be through the filtering system of our visions, creativity that we're trying to stabilize and materialize and ground. So we'll separate this lava element from the other two ones, you know what I'm saying, which will be Leo and Virgo, and Sagittarius and Capricorn. This one is Aries and Taurus. So this is cardinal fire, fixed earth. So this is an explosion. Cardinal fire represents explosion, the fire at its first spark. And the fixed earth quality represents stable, curing. So you can look at this as the volcano lava element. So right now, when it comes to how we learn and the experiences that how we're going to learn, it's going to be filtered through. The best way we can learn is looking at other individuals or examples that's stabilizing their life or making money or securing themselves off some type of creative ability that they have initiated, or something they gave birth to, or something that's dealing with their individuality, if it's already participating into something that's already out here. The more you could be an individual in it, you know what I'm saying, that still represents Aries energy and stuff. So that's the energy right now of everyone's best way of learning. So you might be having things right in front of you that you do need to learn, that you need to add to your circumstance. But if it ain't through the filtering system and lens of some type of creative thing making it happen, and that making the security from it and things of that nature, you might look at it like it ain't something worth to learn from. Via if it's a conversation from someone else, something you observing, something dealing with other type things and shit in the world. So be careful that you don't have too much bias due to the fact of the energies that we are in, but be open to that energy that you're going to be first seeing also anyway. You know what I'm saying? Which is what I just broke down. Therefore, you're not going to be having any frivolous, non-productive conversations right now, because you know what the energy is about. You know what I'm saying? So, and with Jupiter right now, you know the best way of learning and going through experiences, if it got something to do with sparking some type of creative idea or passion or feeling that could gain some type of fixated stability, security, or safety, or some money. And if it ain't got a large portion of that percentage level of energy that you can see in it being played out via person, place, or thing when you participate in it, get out that circumstance, because it ain't worth experiencing at this time, because it might not benefit you as far as planting seeds, due to the fact of whoever you interacting with, the reason why they're not expressing that energy or the location you in, because it ain't got nothing to do with where Jupiter at. And therefore Jupiter manifests benefits when you are willing to experience and endure, whether the experience is negative or positive. It don't matter what you go through, it's how you go through it. So if you're willing to go through anything, that's you expanding your mind. So you technically accessing Jupiter. So if you are an alchemist, you understand the as above, so below. So as a practitioner who come up with rituals, you know the right times to do it. So if you know you're getting ready to do some Jupiter energy, you got to know where Jupiter at. And all the way down to the cusp. So right now, when you want to experience being the alchemy, grab that energy from as above and bring it as below, whether you that sign or not. You just got to know how your sign is and know if you play it out in debilitated ways or not. That's when it comes into play of knowing your own alignment, your own natal and stuff. You got to have wisdom. You can't have no bias, because all of these things are tools. Or no other human would have felt like it was that important, whether you agree with it or not, or think, you see what I'm saying? So then, boom, you access Jupiter and where it's at right now. It's in some lava energy right now. And I just broke it down where it's at. So you want to make sure you develop more of those experiences right now. When you're around other experiences that you start to feel like, okay, this is an experience I'm getting ready to get into, which everything is an experience, but things that create events based on interacting with others. So that becomes an event experience. So then now your Jupiter is being accessed right now because you're getting ready to learn something, whether on a small or large. And if these events ain't got nothing to do with creating an idea, expressing your feeling, or somebody else expressing their feeling or something like that, that could look like it could spark a potential of us being able to be structured in something, or it could be consistent in something, or for us to build on something, built on that first idea long enough that we could build some security, stability, and shelter off of it, then it's not worthwhile your experience. You wasting your time and bullshitting around during this particular time. Bullcrapping. So keep that in mind. You're wasting your experiences. Now, going back to one of the main themes being Lilith and Chiron being in fire. So Chiron being in Aries, Lilith being in Leo. So we're going to be extra aware of not wanting to be embarrassed. So we might procrastinate during this particular time, and we have a whole bunch of self-doubt about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Outcomes may not ever play out the way you're thinking about it in a negative way. But you might devalue yourself based upon previous circumstances that you have already experienced. And this would allow you to already justify in your mind why it's okay not to do something or not go for something. So be careful that you don't do that too much. But this is the energy that you might be in due to the fact of the moon being in Aries and it sharing the conjunction of Chiron. So you're going to be extra self-aware of not wanting to make a mistake. And then they're both trine in Lilith and Leo. You don't want to get embarrassed based upon a mistake, because you know you're going to be the cause of an event that set the stage for something to be expressed like a feeling that may make you feel like you ain't want to be seen in that light, aka Lilith and Leo. So you got to be careful during this time. You got to be careful because you might feel like when you participate with something, there's automatic concepts of you being embarrassed in that area. And that might not even be the case. And you're just using this energy to get washed up under the current, because you're going to feel this way in more stronger, larger percentage scales than you did yesterday, day before yesterday, because the moon is like the closest energy. So that's the first one you're going to react to, even beyond the sun. But since the sun creates the image, that's what you do and use to create the image of what you feel, which will be the moon. So how your moon alignment is and how I react to the moon sign is what's getting ready to become the shape and form. It's just a fart cloud. But you utilize your solar plexus, as above, so below, and the sun, and that creates how it looks. So how, as above, how that play out is how you act upon it. For an example, let's say you're a person who got your sun opposing your moon. So you might got the sun in Gemini, moon in Sagittarius. The way you act is the sun protects your moon, your mother. So the way you may act a lot of times may create delusions and block from your moon being seen and things of that nature. So a lot of times you may express false emotions, false ways of acting. That's not really how you truly feel about things. So that'd be the relationship between your sun and moon. And the way your moon looks, it looks like your sun. But since you chose to come in this lifetime with the sun opposing the moon, your moon looks opposite to what it truly is when you express yourself with your sun. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you may manifest the wrong friend groups. You may manifest a whole bunch of the wrong relationships early in your life. And not just Gemini and Sag, anybody who got opposition signs. Cat, sun, Cancer moon, Cancer sun, Cat moon. Unless you watch somebody like me and you young right now, that'd be good, and you a teenager. But unfortunately, there's no schools and things like that for what I'm kicking right now. So you gotta let life teach you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't necessarily have to be in astrology and stuff like that. But here's the thing, you also play out the fool card more too though, where you have to be the fool for other people to learn from and develop wisdom more throughout your life. But you still end up reaching a circumstance where you develop wisdom, and probably way more wisdom than the average individual because you've been through more to develop it. But everything has a gift and a curse to it. The curse is you may have wasted a whole lot of time doing things you didn't even have to do though to reach that space. And if only someone was in your life with a level of intelligence, or you would have been in a certain area where you can have a spark, a level of intelligence to wake up a lot earlier in your life, then that may not have to be the issue. You know what I'm saying? You may not have to been going to jail that many times, or you may not, you know what I'm saying, or have failed relationships that many times, or bridge burning relationships with your family and friends that many times. Or losing that many jobs and stuff like that. So you got to peep game. So for the most part, right now, Mercury is direct also. So you're accumulating all this last pondering energy from the moon being in Aries, Chiron being in Aries, and Lilith being in Leo. And now you're trying to justify it. Even if you're no longer embarrassed about these things, or if you're still embarrassed about these things, you're trying to justify. That's what I meant to say first. Even if you're still embarrassed about these things, like you may have made a mistake, burnt the bridge, and you probably experiencing a tower moment right now where you wish you didn't quit that job, or you wish you didn't disrespect that person, place, or thing, or you wish you would have kept that object and didn't take advantage of it and take it for granted, and now you got to go back to the pawn shop or something but you ain't got the money to, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. With Mercury going direct right now, you're developing thought forms of trying to justify it. Now, don't smell your ass too much, because you might justify something that's really a habit, that's a routine and pattern that you actually need to stop doing. And that experience of this tower moment is actually letting you know, here's confirmation of your issue, and you need to stop doing it. So you don't let Mercury, because Mercury think fast, even in Taurus. It'll make you come up with a real fast Hermes, Speedy Gonzalez, hold down, push A and B on the Sega Genesis controller real fast if we playing Sonic. And then if we watching DC Comics, watching Flash energy. And it'll make you think real fast about some idea to get fixated and stubborn in. And this idea will be based on about you trying to justify what you may have thought happened, even if you knew you was wrong. But you justifying it in a way of like putting it in an energy like it's okay, not in the energy of you need to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? That you might get fixated into just like that justification and then smiling like, oh, this is one of my traits because I got Venus in the 19th house or something like that. Nah. That ain't what astrology is for. You to be aware, not to make excuses. So it's an excuse why you flunked out. It ain't no awareness of why you flunked out and learning how to change. It's an excuse to why you flunked out, and you can use it as an excuse anytime you make another motherfucking mistake, because you like the desires that come from that energy of doing that dumb shit. That's why, because you will hear stuff like this and you'll be thinking like, if everybody knew this, why do it seem like it's still 97% of the world retarded? Here's why. This is what you need to understand. It's a gift and curse to everything. There's a gift to being stupid. So don't think people being stupid and they just totally stupid. Sometimes you come across people and they play the fool. Here's the thing. It's a gift and a curse to everything. If you could make $1 million being wise, no one would be stupid. So when you come across stupid people, there'll be reasons for that. You know what I'm saying? Man, you can make money off being stupid and foolish. You know what I'm saying? You can get over, you can manipulate, because there's a lot of desires that humans are attracted to that you can only manifest being stupid. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. That's a real motherfucking thing. That's a real thing I'm kicking. And it's a lot of people in jail today for that very same circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a blue collar crime or a hoodlum crime. Little hoodlum booger. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, these are energies you need to be aware of. You know what I'm saying? And a person's desires themselves will force them to play fool or play retarded or play stupid or act like they don't know something and stuff like that. A lot of y'all experience that in real life on the surface level, percentage scale of this. Like a thief or something like that. And then you ask them where your Sega Genesis game go or your Super Nintendo game go. They act like they don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Well, they knew everything last night when y'all was playing Tecmo Bowl and all that. You know what I'm saying? When y'all was playing NBA Jam and all this shit, and they knew real good. They knew the score, everything. John Madden 96 and all that. They knew all that real good that night. The next morning and stuff like that, when you went over there and knocked on the door, and his mother or her mother already said, you know what I'm saying, let you in the crib and stuff like that, all of a sudden they don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Why he the only one don't know what's going on? Why his mama had to come tell everybody, go get that game out the closet. Go get that game. I saw you brought it. You know what I'm saying? Why everybody in your household know except you know? You know what I'm saying? You probably got Scorpio somewhere in your child. So it's that kind of energy right now. You know what I'm saying? It's all that kind of energy. So you need to know right now when it comes to Mercury, passing the Gemini Palace, I would have flipped the camera. So who gives a fuck about sightseeing? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? These energies that we in now, there's another extra emphasis also when it comes into the moon, because it's going to be squaring Venus and Mars. So a squaring is depositor. But Mars also the squared is depositor also, Cancer.
There's a speed trap ahead.
I don't give a damn about no damn speed trap, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. But look, check this out, right? When it comes into motherfucking the moon, mother trucking moon, it's gonna be squaring Venus and Mars. Now, Mars is in Cancer. So Cancer is ruled by the moon. So the moon depositor is in Aries, and Aries depositor is in Cancer right now, which is the Mars. So they're going to balance each other out. So one is going to help the other where one don't have the energy and the other one have it, and where one don't have it, the other one have it. So it's almost like going through a war on Forrest Gump, right? And Lieutenant Dane lost his legs, but Lieutenant Dane is the intelligent one who don't need a map and know where to go. And Forrest Gump was the retarded one, but his retardedness led him not to be in no area and be too aggressive to get blown up by the enemy and lose his legs. So he could carry Lieutenant Dane around. It's like Pinky in the brain. Pinky in the brain energy right now. Now you got to choose which one is Pinky and brain for you in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you got a lot of water and earth, then Mars is going to be, if you got a lot of water and earth in your chart, then Mars is going to be the brain and the moon is going to be Pinky. You know what I'm saying? Because the moon is in Aries. Now, if you got a lot of fire and air in your chart, then the moon is going to be the brain and Mars is going to be Pinky. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you need to understand right now when it comes to that allegory. And so, however your chart is, you need to go ahead and size that up. And if y'all got an equilibrium or different type of percentage level in your natal chart, a mixture of elements, then this piece it up how you piece it up. You know what I'm saying? But one got to be the Pinky and one got to be the brain. So the one that you lack is that, as far as percentage energy with the element, is going to be the Pinky, and the one that the energy that you more have in your chart as far as the element is going to be the brain. So once you know that, once you know the element, you know what planet to use to make the decision for whatever you're getting ready to, whatever conclusion you get ready to make. For an example, got more. If you on the side of brain being Mars, because Mars is in Cancer with that element, then you know you need to take the conclusion of your passion, motivation, or desire over your emotion or over your feeling. You know what I'm saying? But just try to transmute whatever negative emotion and feeling to try to make it support whatever Mars needs you to do. Now, if you're on the elemental energy where the brains have to be Mars, the moon and Aries, right? Then you need to make sure whatever situation that you're getting ready to make a decision on, reach that conclusion, take more the agreeable side of your emotions and your feelings, other than what you're passionate about or your goal at hand or your desire. Just make a goal or desire or passion support your emotion and your feeling and your intuition about something. You see what I'm saying? And then that's how you utilize the Pinky and the brain energy for you when it comes into this square, because they both balance each other out based upon Cancer being ruled by the moon, but it's in Mars, and its depositor, the moon, is in Aries, and Aries being ruled by Mars. You see what I'm saying? So that's the balance out. They both give each other a crutch. Pinky in the brain and Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dane. Lieutenant Dane. You know what I'm saying? But look, all right, so, and another theme is going to be Venus. So Venus don't necessarily get down with Aries. So it being in Cancer, it might put up a fight against the moon right now, because that's its depositor also. But Venus can care less about the moon. So you may fight right now with those energies, aka feel a little uncomfortable with love matters right now if it don't match your comfort zone, or match, like if you can't see it in your mind being able to make you feel vulnerable and open and comfortable, if they was around you doing the things you usually do on your own, then you might not see yourself obtaining that object, going to that place at this moment, or trying to rub shoulders with that person or group of people. So right now, you may even put up a frustrating fight within yourself for no reason for that energy. And anybody who come into your life that don't got that issue, you might make it seem like they're like smothering you at the moment, or making you do things you don't want to do at the moment. And that may not necessarily be the case, but you just might let this fight that Cancer and Venus is doing when it start to experience the sparks of moon and Aries, because that's a 90-degree angle. So you might be frustrated with love matters, especially if you're not even experiencing love right now. you may be experiencing being frustrated with the energy itself because it's not being participated as above, so below, down here as a teamwork makes the dream work. So you're in an isolated situation right now, trying to come up with justifications of why it's best to be isolated. But you only come up with ideas like that when you become isolated in the first place. So whatever tools you was using as a spirit with your mind and body wasn't good enough to have people around you or even be cared about to a certain degree. So right now, when it comes into that energy, Venus is going to put up a fight with Mars. They're going to fight each other, which is how you emotionally feel, Moon and Aries, about your comfort zone when it comes to your love language. Venus and Cancer. So don't fight the funk right now. A lot of y'all truly want to express something or truly be in a position or space or truly want to do something that you love and appreciate and value and choose not to based on how you think you're going to look or think you want to be seen or your individuality having a blemish on it. And I'm here as Uriel just letting you know all you doing is being washed up under the current right now by the Moon in Aries and Venus in Cancer. That's it. Ain't nothing more, nothing than that. As a spirit, you start fighting with these thoughts and feelings. That's all you're doing. And you're not even supposed to be caring about thoughts and feelings like that. We know they accumulate and manifest as actual events and actual ways people could look at you. But the moment you dive into making that matters more than your actual magic ability, which is that itself, then for the most part, you start living for other people's ideas about what they coming up thinking about you. And then you start coming up with ways of how you think you're more important in your mind and other people's world. But really, it probably only took them about 10 seconds, and then they was on to something trying to figure out their own self again. And then here you go living a whole life being damaged and depression about things that don't even exist because you didn't put yourself into a mental straitjacket. So you got to be careful. Don't put yourself in a mental straitjacket. Sometimes you got to give it up. Not give up, give it up. That's when you do the give up energy as above. The fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, you state your position down here. Sometimes you just got to be like, fuck it. Fuck how you sing. Fuck the circumstance. And fuck what you even believe about it. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, you're on your starting path of moving forward. And your circumstance starting to shift into whatever new thought you're developing at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. So you got to peep game. Now, when it comes into the extreme energies that we are experiencing, those are the two main ones, the two main themes. You feeling embarrassed, and then you having to balance out your passions, but fighting with the love language and connecting and relating and reciprocation with others in order for your passions to have some type of rapport in the first place. Because don't forget, Mars and Venus is in Cancer. You know what I'm saying? So they're working together as a team, but they don't necessarily like each other. It's like if the father is the sun, the mother is the moon, and then they had two kids first. Mars is going to be like, let's say they had two kids back to back. First was Mars, so this is the goddammit sports person in college and stuff like that. Then Venus is the daughter, and that's the one who just she done with Barbie dolls and stuff. She get ready to go to college and stuff, and she's sneaking out the house and stuff. Then they had Mercury last. So Mercury like the kid that's still jumping off the refrigerator and stuff and still have to be in the household. So you got to watch your mind. Your mind is fast. If you don't watch your way of thinking, you'll move too fast. But when it comes to your passions, you kind of like a person who just got out of high school. So you want to experience your passions. When it comes to your love, it's like you getting ready to get out of high school and go to the same college that your brother is going to. AKA, you are experiencing your passions, but you want to experience it more and desire. But then love sometimes distract you. Sometimes you get distracted in what you relate to, and then as below your relationships and things. So that'd be like every now and then that's the sister getting ready to go to the same college and get out of high school that her brother at the moment. So it's like excitement, right? Or distraction. And if you go too far, you might not even make it to college because you didn't got distracted into something that you love, appreciate, was willing to compromise with, and that pleasure turned into something like an indulgent, and you ain't do it in moderation, so it destroyed you, and now you never get to experience the positive energy of Mars, your passions. You just get to experience destruction now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that too. When we look at the energies, so it's not as fast as Mercury, but sometimes it can distract you because things are going so slow sometimes. Like Venus can't wait to get out of high school. You can't wait to get into a relationship. The Mars, your older brother, can't wait to have their first college game and things of that nature, right? Because they tired of being at practice all the time. You know what I'm saying? So they're already older and adult. So this is why it comes with that spiritual grandma knowledge of take it easy, child, slow down. When it comes into your love matters, when it comes into your desires and passions, slow down, run your race, which means your age group, or not even just your age group, your like-minded individuals, right? Be free and let God present something to you. Don't be so fixated and structured on something, because that leads into expectation, and you're going to get that energy. Be careful what you ask for and get something that you didn't truly want. Then get stuck in something and then develop resentment and regret. And who want to die with a crick on their smile, with a frown? You want to die with a smile and feel like you done everything you did and stuff like that around people that make you feel like thinking you can experience that with. Not people that you thought Walt Disney made you think you were supposed to be with, or other people who may have trapped you in some way based upon their generational curse that you didn't have to play out. You know what I'm saying? So these are the energies that we are experiencing right now, with the heavy emphasis on the moon being in Aries, trining Lilith, and conjuncting Chiron in Aries, and trining Lilith in Leo, and squaring Mars and Venus in Cancer. Now, for the most part, they see where the moon get a lot of help and a little bit of Jupiter. And then where Cancer is getting a lot of help is like behind the scene distractions. So what do I mean by this? Saturn could be a behind the scenes. Saturn and Neptune can be a behind the scenes distraction for any time you're trying to access your love matters, Venus and Cancer, and your passions, motivations, and desires, Mars and Cancer. So how you start seeing reality right now, you might create a delusion for no reason. And it might cater to something that you think you want when it comes to your love matters and your passions. Due to the fact of Saturn trining these things, being in Pisces at a 120-degree Moses energy, ocean energy. And then Neptune doesn't make it any better, because Neptune is that's grandma that died. So we're coming up with all these things that we think we want that we think grandma wants us to do. So we cooking pancakes and making old-fashioned sweet tea and Kool-Aid and stuff the way we think grandma wants to. And in today's time, they got like machines and stuff like that people start looking at you like you weird for still doing that. And the machine don't taste as good and stuff like that. But you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like old and outdated energies that's still useful, but it might not look like it's useful. So it make you feel guilty for doing these things in some way, shape, or form. So you have to be careful. That's if you allow the energy to wash you up under the current, you'll start to act in a way, and now you follow in a wave or a trend like everybody else. And this is what allows you not to manifest in the first place, because you ain't being unique and different to produce any esoteric product that can become physical and become material. See what I'm saying? So don't let Saturn and Neptune and Pisces create distractions, because Saturn is like your status. Saturn is our status and how we try to make money and how we deal with maternal and nurture things. that can grow. As above, so below, forms of stability and security and our status. So you might be doing things based on your status that match Pisces energy. That's really a delusion. So you might start rubbing shoulders with people, places, and things based on what something have been said or an outcome of something that might not even be truly for you. So at the end of it all, you might be perceived as manipulating if you ain't washing your hands and paying your esoteric water bill, living in these esoteric apartments in Babylon. But you might do that for the sake of it looking like in the outcome it got something to do with some Venus and some Mars energy. Something that you love and appreciate and willing to compromise with, or something that's dealing with your passions and your desires. And you may utilize money to do it. So now,
take the I-76 US 224 East exit toward Akron.
So now, that's where you get flunked out, because you'll start to use money to do these things and rock other people to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Or to rob them for their money or something like that. Because it's Saturn in Pisces. So you will even use money as a status if it looked like your love or your passions and your motivations could be the outcome. You know what I'm saying? So you got to peep game. And then Neptune will create false beliefs to make you think you're doing the right decision. Neptune will create false beliefs to make, because it would either allow you to be in a certain energy where you attract your tribe if you don't know you're in a negative energy. So you will have other people who add on to it. And y'all all will feel like y'all making the right decision. And y'all all need straight jackets. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part,
in half a mile, take the I-76 US 224 East exit toward Akron.
I was about to say that. I thought put that shit on motherfucking mute. I don't need that shit. That bitch wasn't talking the whole time, and then she fucking started talking. You know what I'm saying? But yay. So when we start to talk about distractions, and they're gonna attack your emotions, because these distractions is filtered through the emotion. Now we got two sides of everything. So when it comes to right brain energies, you have a feeling and an emotion. It takes a collection of feelings to make you get lost into all of these things together, and that's when it becomes emotions. So that's fire becoming water, feeling becoming emotion, image, vision becoming the world that you are in and playing it out. See what I'm saying? So that's when it comes into that side. Then on the other side, left brain side, you have a yin and yang, a masculine and feminine. The masculine going to be air, wind, and the feminine going to be earth on the left brain. So these are things that's not dealing with feeling and emotion. It's dealing with logic and practicality. Practicality is like something that can be stood on, something that makes sense. Air is the logic. What is we making something make sense out of? The words, the logic. What are we, the communication of it? You could use air all you want and not make sense. And you could use earth all you want without nothing to make sense out of. You know what I'm saying? So you could make money, or you could just be a caveman, cavewoman somewhere throwing rocks at a tree. That's just using earth with no logic. Or you could be somewhere having conversations and y'all don't even know the language y'all speak. So y'all just talking and don't want to understand something. Y'all just talking and don't want to understand each other. That's too much air without the earth. So this is the yin and yang of the left brain. You know what I'm saying? So you got thought, air, then ideas, and then you got practicality and what makes sense, earth. So you got feeling and emotion, fire, water, and you got logic and practicality, air and earth. And then you blend these things in like an alchemist in order for you to not always be the stupid one in situations. You're always the mental superior one in situations. But you have to understand the energy of it. For an example, too much fire means someone got too much feelings, right? So you might be dealing with a situation that might be passionate at the moment. Too much water means a person got so much feelings that they ain't even expressed yet. So that's too much you might be dealing with a situation where there's too much emotions going on, where it might be manipulation going on, intuition to make you observe other things going on that's not expressed. A lot of fire that haven't been expressed. That's when it turns into a water. When an emotion isn't expressed, or the emotion that's expressed is manipulated in another way different than what it actually was. So it's not the fire no more, it's water. So you see what I'm saying? So now the feeling turns into water. So you may be having an emotional situation where you gotta, even if it's positive, or you have to consoling someone. Let's say there's a lot of logic that have to be had. You might be dealing with a situation there's a lot of talking going on. There's a lot of instructions that have to be read. There's a lot of things that have to be thought about. And then let's say you're dealing with a situation of earth. There may have to be a lot of things grounded. There maybe have to be a lot of energy of feeling sure first before actually coming to a conclusion. So everything that you're developing to come to a conclusion to be sure about will be the air. But then when you like, okay, this is the conclusion, and now I'm sure, that becomes the foundation. That becomes the earth. You see what I'm saying? So y'all get the little transition I'm breaking down? Everything is an elemental transition. And you start with fire, water, air, and earth in a specific order. That's the specific order of it. So based on the image that a person starts to show, or when you're around someone, the things that they make sense out of in their life, and you see them do it as a routine and pattern, or they're thinking patterns, they're already accumulated in the earth energy. If you understand this transition I'm breaking down, you're able to know where they got that alchemy from as a spirit. You know what space they was in. Because you're able to make up the different elemental mixture together. You'll be like, all right, for this person to make that earth element, they were spiritually in this space. And in this space, all spirits create this kind of fire that becomes water. So that's what makes them go through the many different thought patterns and line of reasoning as air to make this person have that type of pattern or those type of actions and stuff like that, earth energy. You know what I'm saying? And boom, this what makes you intelligent in different areas now. You know what I'm saying? Once you know this little process I'm breaking down to you. And you will be able to judge it. You will be able to judge a book by its cover at that point. Because you'll be able to do it in God's way. God know all things. So if God taught you how to do it, and I'm God's child, so I gave you a pointer. If God taught you how to do it, and God taught me how to do it, then it ain't what we do, it's how we do it. So we all do everything. So you're supposed to do things wise and use logic against logic with intelligence. So for the most part, now you could do the same thing, but you're doing it for God. So you understand it from the perspective that a spirit have to be in to even make it. So you understand it like this. For a person to even put that type of artwork on their emerald tablet, on their philosopher's stone, or for that person to even put that type of artistic drawing or that symbol on the cover of a book, I already know the context of the book. And I don't even have to go through all of it and think I'm not being biased, because the mind state that the spirit is in the first place to jump in is only going to have a handful of ways, to the point that even if I'm wrong, I'm still right, because that it only pertains to a certain audience in the spiritual world to manifest down here anyway. See what I'm saying? For an example, now I'm from the hood, so I'm about to make it real simple. Let's say you watching you see a movie getting ready to come out, and you see the cover of it, and it's a person with a gun holding it next to a person in a car or something like that. Now, you could judge the book by its cover, but here's the thing. This is what I mean, don't be biased. Thank you so much for the donation, Peter Hall. I appreciate that. Since y'all are, this is what I be meaning by you already spoiled in the mind off Google, and I'm about to put it in hood terms. Yeah, we already know it's a movie about a hood movie. So in your mind, you automatically gonna be like, don't judge a book by a cover, because you don't know if it's gonna be a bad movie, it could be a good movie. So all your minds is already lost in the Masonic concept of thinking. See what I'm saying? Because that makes sense to y'all, right? And it even makes sense to me. But see, the world I'm in is separate. Because look, I'm thinking about it like this. When I'm talking about it as judging a book by its cover and getting out of y'all world, okay, we understand that. I'll take it a step further. I'm judging it as, okay, even if we understand it's a hood movie or a hood book, right? Let's say we don't know what it is, and then we see the new movie about to come out, and then we see it as a gun, and we see it, right? And then I'm going to say we can judge a book by its cover, not only because we know it's going to be a hood movie, but it doesn't matter what it is. Even if I'm wrong and it's an actually good movie, it don't matter what I said. I know that someone gonna get robbed in it. I know that someone is gonna be about some hood type stuff. It's gonna be about, so it don't matter if it's a good movie or not. I can still judge it from the perspective that I'm judging it from. Do y'all get what I'm trying to say? Know what I'm saying? Oh shit. That's when you're judging the book by its cover for God. And therefore it's like, you could say, I don't even like hood movies. So I don't care if it's a good movie or not. And I'm not even judging a book in the demonic world. I'm judging a book just based upon, I can see it from a mile away. It's a movie based on things I'm not into. You know what I'm saying? So that takes us back to the allegory of the alignment and things of that nature. Right now, you will be able to judge the book by its cover if you go back to the alchemy energy that I'm breaking down on the actual order it goes. Fire, water, air, and earth. And then once a person starts expressing themselves, or you see their little patterns in their life and the things that they doing, or they thought patterns, they're already earth expressing. So all you have to do is be like, okay, where this person get that earth quality from? Let me go through the many transitions. They had to go down this line of thought and train and reasoning. Now you shifting that earth through the air. Then you like, a person had to feel like that to even have those thoughts. Now you shift the air through the water. Then you like, okay, they must have had these type of experiences or visions in or visions or these type of feelings. Then you shift through the water to the fire, and then now you're actually able to see the starting point on why this monkey ass motherfucker act the way they act, especially if they got a gift and a talent of always flunking out your situations and having you get online to be able to be like, yes, bitch, yes, and clear this go, because somebody kicking some real good game that describe this flunked out ass toxic person you next to every day. Real shit. Real shit. Thank you so much for the donation, Battle of the Star, man. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So it's a deep spiritual game out here. And when you know the alchemy and things of that nature, then you're able to persevere and not get rocked to sleep, even if you are participating in a North Node type circumstance that's starting to, flare up your spiritual energies and stuff. AKA, North Node is uncomfortable, unfamiliar scenarios. But anytime you're going through that, you're able to develop your capabilities and incapabilities and end up discovering things that you never knew you could do before. So it sparks you on your spiritual paths and it gives you a know-how. But you got to be an individual who's not scared to walk that path. You know what I'm saying? So so when you understand that energy, a lot of times you can just look at life and mistakes as a game and not put too much pressure on yourself, because a lot of times what prevent y'all from doing things and make you justify procrastinating is the ability or you willing not to go through mistakes or experiences that might not go in your favor. But these are examples to God of you being a weak spirit. God don't like weak spirits. God help those who help themselves, because that's what God do. The only way you can please God is being yourself. Anytime you try to be too much of something, right? Then for the most part, God don't like that, because God hate the angels for that. That's why the angels failed, trying to be like something in the world of nothing. So God look at that like you trying to create your own world. Then for the most part, you trying to be too much like nothing is you trying to be like God. You can't be all possibilities. You damn near can take care of yourself, let alone you trying to take care of the whole world or whatever like that. So for the most part, you can't do that either. And you can't be nothing. You can't be like nothing because you in something. So you gotta be this, you just gotta be your goddamn self, and you unique. And that's the only way you can please God. Know what I'm saying? And you'll get put around other people who be themselves and know how to love themselves and know how to go for their passions. Then y'all, once all y'all come together, all y'all together, we make what God is. Now God can actually be a fart cloud that we can see, because we all bring it in existence. You know what I'm saying? We bring all possibility in existence by us putting in the footwork, making it possible for all of us to work together and make all of our possibilities all possible together. And when we all on one train of thought, line of reasoning from all of our perspective, we do that soul chamber, Mount Herman spoke esoteric spiritual connection where we're all on the same page from our own perspective, and all of our minds together become the metaphysical representation of all things together. And how we bring things in the world, we like to literally bring God in the world. Like we literally brought God in the world right there. And if we do it long enough, that shit might just like float down in a physical body and shit. Start walking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Cause at that point, the sky already looked like it. Like, cause this is how we make the world. Like the type of trees and land we done made at that point, the way the atmosphere, which is the water, the way it would look at that time, it'll be some normal shit. It won't be like some shit like we think it's impossible. It'll be some shit that's already a potential in our mind that we already know we doing, and we already, you know what I'm saying? I'm on Berber Road, Berber Road. But yeah, it'll be some shit we already know. It'll feel good, think good. We'll all be floating in some type of sky mountain and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll all be gold. The sky be like gold, purple shit. Like it'd be like some different type of shit going on. That's the world I used to live in. Like y'all done destroyed it and fell low, real low down and below. You know what I'm saying? So it's down to an unhealthy position down here right now. And I still, as soon as I set up shop, I'm about to get in my inboxes and things of that nature. I ain't even get a chance. I had to do a lot of things today just to set up so I can start planning. So like that's how life falls sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. I'm saying, doing the OT, all this, doing all kind of other shit. But yeah, at the same time, this the energy you're supposed to be participating in. And just going back to the alignment itself, the energies itself. We got the sun in Taurus, moon in Aries. Aggressive about your paper, or aggressive about your stability, security, safety, support, and shelter in some way, shape, or form. So, you know, you might get a little motivated right now, a little passionate right now to go ahead and put the 1-2 together for some form of security, stability, support, some type of money. And what you might feel comfortable with doing right now may have something to do with your creativity, your individuality, your desire, your feeling about something, because it's fire. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, for the most part, if you've been playing good seeds, you probably got something to get into anyway. If you ain't been playing good seeds, you in a situation right now where you have to get these things. So you're going to be expressing your individuality and your feelings amongst others in such ways of making people feel like they need to be guilty because they ain't helping you about something, or they ain't giving you something. And you probably in a situation where you unuseful, not only for your goddamn self, but for others. And you somewhere with your esoteric hands out all the goddamn time and shit like that. And you damn near already experienced the Saturn return in his monkey ass, shade bird ass. But at the same time, don't make sure you don't put yourself in that kind of energy, because you will put yourself around individuals that feel a certain way and tell you about yourself, and you ain't even know they thought that way about you, because you done got too comfortable in yourself without realizing you just some non-useful ass person yourself, and you got people around you taking care of you mentally or physically, and not expressing these things in ways of making you think about these things for yourself. To be like, oh, I didn't know that was a possibility for someone to think like that. And then you might push the boundaries and the limits during this particular time, and then someone have to tell you off because you smelling your ass too much in front of them. You know what I'm saying? The way how they see it from their perspective. So you gotta peep game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all ain't did shit for y'all grandmother. Y'all grandmother been getting y'all out of jail for the past 19 years, and you just now becoming a Hebrew Israelite talking about you change your life. And with these energies in the sky, here you go smelling your ass right now. Talk about, well, grandma, you always act like this. You always act like that. And all she did was ask you to wash your goddamn dishes and shit like that. And that now she got to tell you. Yo dirty nappy sock wearing around the motherfucking house smelling old boiled egg ass. I've been getting your ass out of motherfucking jail for the past 20 years going broke, and now my feet ashy and I got a rotten elbow and I can't work and I'm getting this goddamn unemployment check. Bitch, the last thing you could do is wash them goddamn dishes, and now you have to think about it like, oh damn. But since grandma ain't bring that up the last 19 years because you was too busy going to jail and being in the streets, you ain't know that thought was being felt. So you ain't even had time to think about that for yourself. So you get this energy, start smelling your own ass right now, and get told something you ain't gonna feel like you wanted to get told. So that's like that energy right now, and it might be feisty too. I'm gonna tell you, it might be feisty. Moon and Aries, bitch. So don't expect nobody to sweet talk you. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect nobody to sweet talk you. Ain't nobody about to sweet talk shit. They gonna give it to you real straight. You know what I'm saying? Fire signs cut through reality, especially Aries. Cut straight through reality, give it to you straight. So it go through the water, air, and the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like it was never there. Everything get evaporated. Everything getting melted. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So, keep that in mind. It's real feisty. So, sometimes you got to be told the truth. Sometimes you got to add a fiery sword. Put a little bit of fire on that sword. Sword is the air. Sometimes it got to be a little spicy. Turn that water to wine. And that Holy Grail 6 of Cups face tarot card. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it got to be an Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. You know what I'm saying? You got to milk that brick jawline coin face. You know what I'm saying? Manufacture it so it could be the first coin in the first place. Manufacture it and shit like that. Sometimes it got it, so we got to milk these metals and shit. It take fire, take passion, takes feelings. Yeah, y'all be scared of y'all feelings and stuff like that, and don't use it for productive things. Now it become unuseful. Just like your mama. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Real shit. So, y'all gotta know what kind of circumstance y'all in. when it comes into the eyes above, so below. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta know the energy, because a lot of times the stars might not align for you. You might got like a whole bunch of square energies, opposition energies right now, and all kind of shit. And oppositions and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't even peeping game. So you in a circumstance where you going out and about trying to copy somebody because somebody got a good way of doing something, but this individual, they stars might align that day. So that's why they having a way. And then you end up trying to follow them, and you the only one who get caught. You the only one something bad happened to that day. I'm saying you the only one who couldn't get away with shit. So all those energies could be shown during this time. East 1999, my nigga. I should show y'all the bulletin. You know what I'm saying? On the east side of Cleveland. But yay. So y'all gotta peep game. You know what I'm saying? Going through this type of circumstance. And here's the thing, with the sun being in Taurus and the moon being in Aries, you might make a mistake trying to do something for some money or some stability, security or shelter. Because don't forget, Chiron is in Aries, but the sun is always doing or protecting the moon. So it's what the moon look like. So we like aggressive, passionate, motivated, but it's going to look like the sun in Taurus, where we might be passionate and motivated for like surface level things. And these things that you may go for, you may think is rational, or you may think is practical, and it may lead you in a flunked out situation. You know what I'm saying? And now you done created an unstable scenario. You done created a situation that the foundation became kind of shaky and things of that nature because you was moving too fast and you forgot it was supposed to look slowed down a little bit, but your feeling made you move fast. Moon in Aries right now, but you forgot to slow down and take it easy so it can make sense and don't just be surface level. And if it can be slowed down, you can actually utilize the surface level things in the right way, in a respectable way, aka Sun and Taurus. So all you got to do is remember that alchemy, and regardless of it, if the stars align for you today or not, you still got access to being able to manifest and have the abilities and have things go in your favor during this particular time. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. So that's how you're supposed to go about that. I need to get over. But yay. So for the most part, and we getting ready to experience these shifts. Mercury just went direct, so I'm gonna go live probably later on. I'm gonna go live later on and do a flight tarot card reading on Mercury direct for all signs. Gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? And Jupiter is getting ready to go into Taurus, so I'm gonna break that down first as a narrative for all signs to get people into understanding what house you're getting ready to have some new experiences in. Because if you fail to realize, because a lot of y'all time ain't even up yet based on degree. So you've been having most of your experiences in the house that you got Jupiter in. You know what I'm saying? So whatever house you got Aries in, that's where Jupiter been at. Whatever house you got Aries in. So little do y'all know, y'all been going through heavy experiences when it comes into the area of life Aries is at. Like, you could probably do a whole bunch of backtracking right now and be like, damn, hell, how come I didn't realize that? Most of my experiences of events that played out that made me think and feel the most throughout my days, when that got something to do with not me being isolated, was predicated on my Aries house. Because Jupiter was there. You know what I'm saying? For an example, all I was doing was traveling and stuff. Like, I got Aries in the 9th house, so y'all can use my channel as a reference. All I was doing, which I'm doing now, but all I was doing is traveling, experiencing, teaching, you know what I'm saying, learning, changing my moral systems, you know what I'm saying, my morality. Well, I'm a teacher already, so changing the world's morality and moral systems and stuff. That's all y'all see with Jupiter in my 9th house. And then even in my private life, I see how that's played out. So you could probably look at your life right now and be like, oh damn, yeah, this was going on. Now, because when you hang yourself on the cross, sometimes you this is what it means, giving your dream away or your revelation. But I'm just doing this for y'all to know too. And for everybody, do this in your own chart. By hanging myself on the cross, y'all also about to see Uriel take off. Soon as it fully go into my 10th house. 6 degrees. So as soon as it go into 6 degrees Taurus, y'all about to see Uriel's career be in a position like everybody else's, just in my own way. When it comes to my career, because I'm the higher octave anyway, I don't make mistakes. So I'm just riding the universe. I don't care about none of these forms. But it's happening to me at this time. So as soon as Jupiter go into my 10th house, 6 degrees Taurus, then y'all about to start seeing Uriel the same way y'all see these celebrities though. Not Because I'm bringing y'all with me. I'm talking about the way I'm changing the world, where celebrities got to know they ain't shit no more. And I'm going to be in those same positions. Now, if you're the lower octave and you got my same alignment, you're going to witness your career fall or something like that. But I'm the higher octave. I don't never miss shits. I don't care about forms. I wish it would have came earlier, but it's just coming now. It's coming this time. So at this time now it's coming. But it's Jupiter in the 10th house. So now as soon as Jupiter go in my 10th house, it's going to expand my career, what I'm known for, how I'm seen, and my status. So I got to keep it real cute for God right now. Because I ain't trying to be known for no bullshit. I'm trying to keep my status real cute for the esoteric world in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. Not put too much mud up under my shoes, bringing it to the pearly gates and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So everything I do right now is important. Even to being demonetized. That's a thing. I'm about to get it back monetized though, so y'all about to see a whole lot of videos disappear. But yay. Other than that, it's about to be a whole new shift and things of that nature. Even how it's playing out and how the shadow government playing with me. And me having to delete a lot of videos or put them on private. It's playing out physically too. But it's about to play out metaphysically and physically, even positively. So, yeah, it's about to expand my career, what I'm known for, how I'm seen, my status, and all things that's Jupiterian that I already fulfill. And then therefore, you know what I'm saying, that's it for me. But other than that, y'all take that and look at y'all lives and see what y'all get ready to experience and things. Which we're gonna get into tonight. I'm gonna just do a quick rundown for everybody, and then I'm gonna so I'm gonna do that for about 20 to a half an hour, and then get into the flight tarot card and then the houses, and then the sun and moon ascendants for all signs of how this Mercury direct energy is gonna affect us all. You know what I'm saying? So I love all y'all from the bottom. Thank you so much for the donation. I can't see that. You're on the road. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I get back to where I'm going safe. I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to set that live stream up for 10 o'clock as soon as I settle down. So I can get back in my inboxes and things of that nature also. And emails. And y'all stay spiritually protected. And we're going to be doing these plannings and stuff like that for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And stuff. So love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all all stay spiritually protected.